Today we are going to learn pharmacognosy and phytochemistry. Definition: plants from the natural sources are source for the benefits of mankind. The drugs that are procured from natural sources belong to the branch of pharmacognosy. Pharmacognosy is nothing but pharma means drug, cognosy means knowledge. So that is nothing but the study of the drugs which are procured from the natural sources. Natural sources means that can be plant or animal or from the microorganism or from marine sources. So this is nothing but the study of drugs which are procured from natural sources. The word pharmacognosy is derived from the Greek words pharmakon, drug, gnosis means knowledge. So here already we discussed that pharma means drug, gnosis means knowledge. The term pharmacognosy was first used by the Austrian physician Schmidt in 1811 and 1815 by Antonius Seidler, who was first coined this term in his dissertation entitled Analecta Pharmacognostica. Pharmacognosy is closely allied to medicine developed during early 19th century as a branch of materia medica and applied biology. Here you have to remember the two names Schmidt and Seidler. Schmidt is who was first used the term pharmacognosy, and Seidler written the Analecta Pharmacognostica book in which he first coined the term pharmacognosy. Pharmacognosy is the study of drugs having their origin in plant and animal kingdom. The subject pharmacognosy can also be expressed as an applied science that deals with biological, biochemical, therapeutic, economic features of natural drugs and their constituents. Pharmacognosy is a subject in which plant parts are identified or authenticated using macroscopical, anatomical, phytochemical characters. Therefore, pharmacognosy is the science of medicines from natural sources. So, pharmacognosy is nothing but the study of the drugs which are procured from the natural source, that is plant, animal or marine or microorganism. In pharmacognosy subject, we study the geological source of the plant. Example, here we can take cinnamon. Okay, so where the cinnamon will grow, we have to identify the geological source of the cinnamon and how to cultivate it, means how to grow the cinnamon plant, how to cultivate, how to collect, means collection means cinnamon is mainly procured from the bark of the plant. So how to collect that bark from that plant and how to storage and what are the main active constituents present in the bark. So physical, chemical, biological characters and therapeutic properties of that active constants are we study in the pharmacognosy subject. So totally we study the geological sources, history and method of cultivation, how to collect, how to storage conditions of the plant plot, and what are the main constituents present in which part and which part is going to be used, and what are the physical, chemical, biological, therapeutic properties of the active constituents. So all these we study in the pharmacognosy subject. So finally, a brief definition of pharmacognosy is described as it is a branch of science. Okay, it is a branch of science and a tool of crude drug standardization which deals with the scientific and systematic study. Complete study means systematic study means complete study of structural, physical, chemical, biological characters and evaluation of crude drugs along with geographical sources. पहले हम source को identify करना, then after that we have to cultivate, and after that collection and storage. After the storage, preparation for the market. Means एक part means एक पार्ट निकलने के बाद, एक कंपाउंड निकलने के बाद, it includes many of the components, so it may not be pure. So we have to prepare for the market means we have to sterile it. We have to remove the unwanted parts like dust or mud, and that is nothing but preparation for the market. And after that we have to store it, and after that we have to study the physical, chemical, biological and therapeutic properties of that active constituent which are extracted from the plant. Hence pharmacognosy science is concerned with study of following subjects: Taxonia, taxonomy of plants and natural sources of drugs. Taxonomy is nothing but classification of plants. Distribution of natural products worldwide. Description of plants such as trees. Example cinnamon, cinchona, salix. Shrub. Example vinca. Perennials. Example peppermint. The active constituents from natural sources. Active constituents examples are alkaloids, glycolides, volatiles, tannins. So here first we have to study the classification of the plants. So we classify the plants according to their height. Trees can grow up to a tall, very long height. Example for trees are cinnamon, cinchona, salix. Shrub means it can grow up to a medium height. Example vinca. Perennial means it lasts for long time. Example peppermint. Examples for active constituents are glycolides, alkaloids, volatiles, tannins. The biosynthesis and storage places of active constituents in the organisms. Example plants, animals, etc. The plant part used from the natural sources in medicine and pharmacy such as leaf, roots, seeds, bark. Collection and storage of the part used. पहले हम पार्ट को आइडेंटिफाई करना. सो एग्जाम्पल हियर वी आर टेकिंग सिन्नामन. सो सिन्नामन बार्क से आता है. सो पहले ये बार्क को आइडेंटिफाई करना. देन एक्टिव कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट इन सिन्नामन प्लांट इज पहले हम पार्ट को आइडेंटिफाई करना. एग्जाम्पल हियर वी टेक सिन्नामन. सिन्नामन प्लांट में वी यूज़ bark. Leaf in senna, mint, digitalis we use leaf part. In licorice we use roots. Nux vomica in coffee bean we use seeds. These are the parts. Next, in cinnamon bark the active constant is cinnamaldehyde. So एक प्लांट सिनेमाल्डिहाइड को कैसे सिंथेसाइज करते, कहाँ स्टोर करते, ये पूरा पढ़ेंगे हम ये फार्माकोग्नोसी में. सो आफ्टर दैट वी हैव टू स्टडी द कलेक्शन ऑफ दैट इज़ बार्क. हाउ टू कलेक्ट करना, हाउ टू स्टोर करना, हाउ टू ड्राई करना. देन all these are studied in the pharmacognosy subject. To understand the basic concept of pharmacognosy, some general functions of pharmacognostic is identification of drug sources, determination of morphological character, investigation of potency, purity and admixture, planning and designing of the cultivation of medicinal plants, prescription of the detailed process of collection, drying, preservation, knowledge about extraction, isolation procedures, knowledge about active constituents, phytoconstituents, chemical nature and uses, knowledge about physical, chemical, biological, microbial evaluation of drugs. So, to understand the basic concept of pharmacognosy, the pharmacognostic should have concept about पहले हमको ड्रग सोर्स को आइडेंटिफाई करना, दैट इज geographical source. Then how to cultivate means how to produce the plants. Then how to collect the part and how to store that part, how to prepare that for marketing. Then what are the active constituents present in that part. Then what are the physical, chemical, biological, therapeutic properties of that active constituent. Then how to isolate means how to extract that active constituent from that part. These all should we know, pharmacognosy should know. Isolation, extraction is nothing but the isolation. That is nothing but the separation. History. The early man sought to alleviate his sufferings of illness and injuries by using plants. They acquired knowledge of medicinal properties of plants by guesswork or trial and error while searching for food, by superficial resemblance between the plant parts and the affected organs, that is, by examining the signature of nature, by observing other animals, instinctive discrimination between toxic and palatable plants, or by accidental discovery. According to old history, the history of herbal medicine is from the beginning of human civilization. In the era, maximum plant based medicines were used. Before the beginning of the Christian era, many ancient documents reveal that plants were used largely by the Asian countries, namely China, India, Egypt, and Greece. In China, medicinal plants had been in use since 5000 BC. In around 3000 BC, Shen Nag wrote a book on herbal document Pentasu, which is very old documentary book. During the same period, meticulous, meticulous efforts had been progressing in India for classification of herbs through proper examination. In ancient times, allopathic medicines are not there, so mainly they used plant-based medicines only. Still in China, there is a traditional medicine. Still in China, traditional medicines are using. Finally, Charaka made 50 groups of 10 herbs, each of which meant for specific diseases. Sushruta enlisted only 760 herbs in 7 groups based on common properties. Here आप लोग ये याद करना है कि चरका made 50 groups of herbs based on treatment for specific diseases, and Sushrita enlisted the herbs based on their common properties. In India, the medicinal properties of the plants are first described in two Vedas, Rigveda and Atharva Veda, from which Ayurveda has developed. The earliest plant medicines used in the Ayurvedic system were described with a list of 127 plants. The binomial classification of plants introduced by Swedish botanist Carl Linnaeus in 1700s was further developed by Bentham and Hooker. Gregor Mendel's important observation on plant hybrids came in 1865. Carl Linnaeus introduces the binomial classification. Here you have to remember the names Bentham, Gregor Mendel and Carl Linnaeus. Carl Linnaeus, who introduces the binomial classification of plants. Contribution of scientists in significant development of pharmacognosy. Hippocrates, a Greek scientist, is known as the father of medicine. So father of the medicine, who is the father of medicine? Hippocrates. He worked mainly on human anatomy and physiology, particularly circulatory system and nervous system. He prepared famous oath for physician, which is still taken by them. Further, Aristotle and Theophrastus, well-known philosopher and scientist, are known for their writing Animal and Plant Kingdom respectively. Who is the father of the medicine? Hippocrates. He worked mainly on the anatomy and physiology, mainly on circulatory system and nervous system. Aristotle wrote the Animal Kingdom, and Theophrastus wrote the Plant Kingdom. Dioscorides, a Greek physician, published 5 volumes of book entitled The Materia Medica, in which he described more than 600 medicinal plants with their collection, storage and uses. Dioscorides published 5 volumes of book entitled The Materia Medica. Then Pliny the Elder, the Greek botanist, collected and described a large number of medicinal plants with their uses. Theophrastus wrote Plant Kingdom. Aristotle wrote Animal Kingdom. Hippocrates, father of medicine, he worked mainly on the anatomy and physiology, mainly on circulatory system and nervous system. And the famous oath taken by our doctors is written by Hippocrates. Dioscorides, he published 5 volumes of the book Materia Medica. And Pliny the Elder, he also collected and described about most medicinal plants. Work of Seidler. Siedler was a German scientist and he wrote a book, Analecta Pharmacognostica. In that book, he introduced the word pharmacognosy. He coined this word first time by combining two Greek words. Pharmakon means drug, cognosy means knowledge. Hence, pharmacognosy means to acquire knowledge about drugs. पहले हम तो डिस्कस कर दिया ना, सीडलर हु wrote the book Analectica Pharmacognostica, in which he coined the term pharmacognosy first time, and he also combined the two Greek words, that is pharmakon and cognosy, which became to the pharmacognosy, that is nothing but the acquired knowledge about drugs. Work of Galen. Galen was a Greek pharmacist. He worked on extraction of chemical constituents from the plants. He developed various methods of plant part extraction and is under the branch of Galenical pharmacy, which deals with the extraction of chemical constituents from plants and animals. Galen worked on the extraction of chemical constituents from the plants. He mainly worked on the extraction of chemical constituents from the plants. So he developed various extraction methods. Some of the biological scientists and their important discoveries. Friedrich Wilhelm Adam Sechiner, he discovered meconic acid present in opium. Wilhelm Heinrich Posselt and chemist Carl Ludwig Riemann, he invented nicotine from tobacco. Albert Niemann, he discovered cocaine from coca species. Gerard Hardy, he discovered pilocarpine from Pilocarpus. Nagayoshi Nagai, he discovered ephedrine from Ephedra. Quercetin, he discovered podophyllotacin from Podophyllum. Modern pharmacy. The development of modern pharmacognosy began during the period of 1930 to 1960 by the application of a broad spectrum of biological and socio-scientific subjects including botany, ethnobotany and medical anthropology, marine biology, microbiology, herbal medicine, chemistry, biotechnology, phytochemistry, pharmacology, pharmaceutics, clinical pharmacy, and pharmacy practice, along with the modern analytical techniques like paper and thin layer chromatography, gas chromatography, HPLC, and ultra pressure chromatography, high pressure thin layer chromatography, mass spectroscopy, liquid chromatography combined with mass spectroscopy, high resolution mass spectroscopy. In modern pharmacognosy, we are using these advanced analytical techniques like HPLC, HPTLC, mass spectroscopy, HRMS. These are all using in pharmacognosy also for isolation processes and for to characterize the structure determination. Scope of pharmacognosy. India also has a diverse cultural heritage due to biodiversity. Though at present, Indian healthcare delivery consists of both traditional and modern systems of medicines. Both organized traditional systems of medicines like Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani, and unorganized systems like folk medicine have been flourishing well. Ayurveda and Siddha are of Indian origin and account for about 60% of healthcare delivery in general, and 85% of rural Indian population depends on these traditional systems. It is estimated that roughly 1500 to 1600 plant species in Ayurveda and 1200 to 1500 plant species in Siddha and have been using for drug preparation. In Indian folk medicine use, about 7500 to 9000 plant species are recorded as a medicinal plants. In ancient times, mainly we used plant-based medicines only. In India also the Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani also using, some people are depending on Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani. Mainly the rural Indian population mainly depend on these traditional systems only. So from this picture, so first we have to identify the plants, animal or microorgan, that is nothing but the natural source, and after that we have to extract it. So example, we are taking it the plant, from that we have to extract with different solvents. So after that we will get the crude extract. From that crude extract, so a crude extract mainly consists of the several components, several active constants. So we have to separate those into individual items. For that we use column chromatography to separate the active constituents from the crude extract. So we will pass this crude extract into the column chromatography. So according to the solvent properties, it will separate the active constituents. So after separating the active constituents, we have to identify them. First we have to we can identify by using the chemical test and TLC method. Then we can identify by using the analytical techniques like HPLC, HPTLC. After identification, we have to determine the structure by using the NMR, UV, IR mass spectroscopies. After structure determination, we study the toxicity study. Then after that we prepare the pharmaceutical preparation. After that we send it to the market. So I will say once again. So first हम geographical source को identify करना and plant part को identify करना. First we have to extract that plant part using different solvents. Then we will get crude extract. From crude extract, the crude extract consists of many of the active constituents. So we have to, suppose we are assuming 4 constants are there in crude extract. So we have to isolate into separate items by using column chromatography. For that we have to send this crude extract into the column chromatography. According to the nature of this active constant and solvent used in the chromatography, they get separated into 4 different parts. So we can collect the 4 separated constituents. So next, after that we have to identify by using the chemical test. Then after that we have to identify by using the chromatographic techniques. After that, after identification, we have to determine the structure by using the NMR spectroscopy, UV, IR mass spectroscopy. After structure determination, we have to study the toxicity of that compound. After that we prepare pharmaceutical preparation, and after that we send to market. Same process. So this is the one process. So after identification of the plants and animal source, we have to conserve it in 2 ways. That is, one is ex situ or one is in situ. In situ means we can serve the plant or animals in their natural habitat. Ex situ means we can transfer from natural habitat to another place, that is like example zoo. Then after that we have to cultivate it, and again same process follows. Extraction, separation, identification, structure determination, toxicity study, formulation and market products. Contribution to the advancement of natural and physical science. In a broad sense, pharmacognosy embraces the knowledge of the history, distribution, cultivation, collection, selection, preparation, commerce, identification, evaluation, preservation, standardization, transfer, storage of drugs and economic substances for therapeutic drug discovery and use of drugs and economic substances affecting the health related matters in human. The drug food-drug interactions are studied in pharmacognosy, which helps to avoid the untoward effects of severe interactions with optimal therapeutic outcomes. The most important category drugs include the following: cardiac glycoside and blood thinners. In pharmacognosy, we also study the drug-drug interaction and drug-food interactions to avoid any unwanted side effects or unwanted interactions. Examples: cardiac glycosides and blood thinners. Cardioglycoside is used for the treatment of heart attacks, means it is a cardiotonic, and blood thinners also used for treatment of heart attack. If we use both products having the same therapeutic effect, it may lead to the interaction. So in order to avoid that, we can study drug-drug interactions and drug-fruit interactions in pharmacognosy. Bioassay guided fractionation helps in the extraction of crude drugs from natural sources based on biochemical activities. The extraction of active compounds from various plants and parts of plants and their utilization has been revolutionized the health science. Bioassay guided fractionation extract the crude drugs based on their physiobiochemical activities. So here you have to remember that bioassay fractionation extract the crude extract based on their physical and biochemical activities. In the pharmaceutical industry, various herbal drugs are used in the drug manufacture. Examples are aloe vera used for healing burns and wound healing, blackberry reduces the wrinkle of skin and aging effect, digitoxin used for cardiac diseases, calendula used for the treatment of constipation and cramps, echinacea used for action against rhinovirus colds, grapefruit used for obesity treatment, green tea cures the breast cancer. So here some of the products we are used in the pharmaceutical industry. They are aloe vera used for healing burns and wound healings. Generally in our homes also we use aloe vera for burns. Blackberry, scientific name Rubus fruticosus, reduces the wrinkling of skin and aging effect. Digitoxin, Distalis purpura, scientific name, used for cardiac diseases. Calendula officinalis, used for the treatment of constipation cramps. Echinacea angustifolia, used for rhinovirus and colds. Grapefruit naringenin, used for obesity treatment. Green tea, Camellia sinensis, used for the breast cancer. The revolution in herbal medicine has increasing demand for research in pharmacognosy with concern to quality control to assure the identity, purity, uniform consistency of drug substances, efficacy to determine the therapeutic effects, indication, clinical aspects, and pharmacological effects, safety research to study the adverse toxic reaction, drug interaction, contraindication, and precautions. With a view of above application of pharmacognosy is linked with various allied science. So after collecting the प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम द प्लांट सो सम लोगों को डाउट आता ये काम करते हैं क्या सो इसलिए द इंक्रीजिंग द डिमांड फॉर रिसर्च टू फाइंड आउट द एफिकेसी टू डिटरमिन द इफेक्ट थेराप्यूटिक इफेक्ट एंड इंडिकेशन एंड कुछ लोगों को डाउट आता है कि ये हेर्बल प्रोडक्ट है ना सो इसके एक्टिव कांस्टेंट के साथ कुछ और भी हो सकता मिल हो सकता ये धूल हो जाता मिट्टी हो जाता और अनवांटेड कंपाउंड भी मिल सकता है इसमें सो फॉर दैट इंक्रीजिंग द डिमांड फॉर रिसर्च इन कंसर्न विथ क्वालिटी कंट्रोल टू अश्योर द आइडेंटिटी प्यूरिटी एंड देर आर इंक्रीजिंग द डिमांड फॉर रिसर्च with concern to safety purpose also to study the adverse reactions and drug interactions and contraindications. Link between pharmacology and medicinal chemistry. So pharmacognosy is linking with all these branches with pharmacochemistry, pharmaceutical analysis, pharmaceutics, physical pharmaceutics, clinical pharmacy, pharmacy practice, phytomedicine, plant biotechnology, anatomy, pharma marketing, pharmacology. There is a link between pharmacognosy and all these basic sciences. Link between cognosy, link with anthropology, ayurveda, biology, physiology, biochemistry, botany, zoology, dispensing, entomology, homeopathy, marine pharmacognosy, medicinal chemistry, biological, molecular biology, nanosciences, nutraceuticals, agriculture, agronomy, allopathy. Applications of pharmacognosy. Plant bioactive extraction and isolation. The extraction of plant material and isolation of plant constituents typically require tedious protocols that are essential for isolating biologically active compounds and understanding their role in disease prevention and treatment. Bioactives isolated from leaf, stem, root, bark, flower, fruit, seed, and other plant materials are often identified using a bioassay guided approach. This type of approach is useful for the identification of investigation of alkaloids, antioxidants, bioflavonoids, terpenoids, and other compounds as promising therapeutics from an immense pool of plant diversity. Applications of pharmacognosy. The pharmacognosy is used in bioactive extraction and isolation of active compounds. Development of plant biomarkers. DNA fingerprinting is the technique based on the use of polymerase chain reaction to reveal the specific DNA profile of a particular organism which is as unique as a fingerprint. DNA fingerprinting can distinguish plants from different families, genera, species, cultivars, and even from siblings. Chromatographic techniques such as HPTLC, HPLC gave the profiling for various secondary metabolites of plant. Combining the use of DNA fingerprinting and chemical fingerprinting will be an effective tool in authentication and quality control of herbs. So in DNA fingerprinting, we use polymerase chain reaction to reveal the specific DNA profile of the particular organisms, so which is used as a fingerprint. So these fingerprints can differentiate the plants even from siblings also, because the DNA fingerprinting is specific for each plant. Then by using these chromatographic techniques, we can profile the secondary metabolites of the plant. Secondary metabolites nothing but the active constants like alkaloids, glycolides, terpenoids, etc. We can, by using these chromatographic technique, we can profile these secondary metabolites of plant. By combining the use of fingerprinting and chemical fingerprinting, it will be useful in authentication and quality control of herbs. Some examples of biomarkers are curcumin, which are isolated from Curcuma longa rhizome, which is under clinical trial for curing head and neck squamous cell carcinoma. So curcumin, which are isolated from the Curcuma longa, that is nothing but the turmeric. So is under clinical trial used for treatment of head and neck squamous cell carcinoma. Withanolide D, which is isolated from Withania somnifera roots. In recent clinical trial, it projected that it induces apoptosis in leukemia. So withanolide D induces apoptosis in leukemia. Apoptosis is nothing but cell death, which is helpful in leukemia. Kutcoside isolated from Picrorhiza curea, the recent clinical trial established as a serum biomarker for liver cirrhosis. The recent clinical trial revealed that Kutcoside used as a serum biomarker for liver cirrhosis. Development of nanofertilizers and nanomedicines. Nanotechnology in drug delivery is exemplified by nanocrystals, liposomes, nanoparticle protein conjugates, magnetic nanoparticles, nanogels, and biodegradable nanoparticles. In nanotechnology, एक्टिव कंपाउंड को नैनो साइज में कन्वर्ट करते हैं. इट विल ग्राइंड इनटू द वेरी फाइन पार्टिकल्स, दैट इज nano sized particles, and it can be attached to a liposome or protein conjugates, which will help in slowly and steady release of nutrients. So in nanotechnology पहले हम active compounds को nano size में convert करते हैं. After that it will be attached to the liposomes and protein conjugates. ये help करता है nutrients को slowly and steadily release करने का, so that it will reduce the loss of nutrients and thereby increasing the efficiency of medicinal plants. Nutraceuticals towards biochemical mechanisms of healthy aging. Nutraceuticals are a group of natural substances that include herbs and products such as cholesterol lowering, margarines, phycelium fortified products as dietary supplements. Some herbs like ginseng, ginkgo, nuts, grain, tomato, soy, phytoestrogens, curcumin, melatonin, vitamins, carnitine, carnosine, ubiquinone. So nutraceuticals are nothing but the products that consists of the herbs and other products which are used as a dietary supplements. Examples are these. Natural products. Natural product is a chemical compound produced by a living organism found in nature is that usually has a pharmacological or biological activity and used in pharmaceutical drug discovery and drug design. Natural products may be extracted from tissues of terrestrial plants, marine organisms, microorganisms, fermentation broths. So natural product is nothing but the product obtained from natural sources. Natural sources are nothing but plant source, animal source, or marine source, or microorganism source, which are used in pharmaceutical drug discovery and drug design. Various sources of plants drugs. Source leaves. So these all active compounds are produced from leaf parts. Example, senna. Scientific name is Cassia angustifolia, belongs to Leguminosae family. Active components present in senna leaf are sennoside A, B, C and D. These are used as laxative, which is used in the treatment of constipation. Laxative means it increases the fecal passage, which will helpful in treatment of constipation. Digitalis, scientific name Digitalis purpurea, belongs to Scrophulariaceae family. Active compounds are digitoxin and digoxin, which are extracted from Digitalis leaf. These are used as cardiotonic. Eucalyptus globulus, Myrtaceae family. Eucalyptal, main active compound is eucalyptal, used in cough syrup. जनरली हमको सर्दी हुए तो यूकलिप्टस ऑयल गर्म पानी में डाल के इनहेल करते हैं ना. So in these days also we are using eucalyptus for cold and cough. Belladonna. Atropa belladonna belongs to Solanaceae family. Active compound is atropine. Atropine used as pain reliever and muscle relaxer. Flower source. So these active compounds are obtained from flower part of the plant. Examples are clove. Clove is nothing but the flower. आप imagine करना है. Clove is obtained from flower. That is eugenol active compound obtained from the flower part of the clove plant. Clove, Eugenia caryophyllus, belongs to Myrtaceae family. Active compound is eugenol. It is used as dental analgesic. Vinca, Catharanthus roseus, belongs to Apocynaceae family. Vincristine, vinblastine, used as anti-cancer. Hibiscus rosa sinensis, belongs to Malvaceae family. Active compound are cyanidin 3,5-diglucoside, quercetin 3-diglucoside, used as anti-ulcer. Source, fruits. These are obtained from fruit part of the plant. Example, amla. Amla is nothing but fruit. We use fruit part. Embolica officinalis belong to Euphorbiaceae family. Vitamin C is the main compound. It is used as antioxidant. Bale, Agelea marmolis, belongs to Rutaceae family. Marmesinin, agelin, active components. It is used as antidiarrheal and anti-dysenteric. Mango is nothing but the fruit. Mangifera indica belongs to Anacardiaceae family. Main constant is mangiferin, used as antioxidant. Source seeds. Examples are Nux vomica seed, castral seed, mustard seed, sasronk beach. Nux vomica. Strychnus nux vomica belongs to Loganaceae family. Strychnine brucin used as CNS stimulant. Castor plant, that is scientific name is Ricinus communis, belongs to Euphorbiaceae family. Active compounds are ricinoleic acid, oleic acid, used as laxative. Castor oil is used as a laxative. Mustard seeds, Brassica nigra, cruciferae family, oleic acid, used as anti-arthritic agent. Source bark, Cinchona officinalis, belongs to Rubiaceae family. Quinine is the main compound, used as antimalarial agent. Quassia plant, scientific name Picrasma excelsa, belongs to Sima Rubiaceae family. Quercetin is the active component, used as anti-tumor. Cinnamon, main part is bark. So main active compound is cinnamaldehyde, cinnamic acid, which is extracted from the cinnamon bark. Scientific name is Cinnamomum geylanicum, belongs to Lariaceae family. Cinnamaldehyde, cinnamic is used as antimicrobial. Source roots, examples are Ipecac. A scientific name is Cephalis epicaquina, belongs to Rubiaceae family. Emitin is the component used for amoebic dysentery. Rauwolfia serpentina, belongs to Apocynaceae family. Reserpine extracted from the Rauwolfia roots, used as antihypertensive. Ashwagandha, Withania somnifera, belongs to Solanaceae family. Withanolides, used as adaptogen. As earlier we learned in earlier class, that is Withanola D, extracted from the Withania somnifera, induces apoptogenesis in leukemia. Source systems, examples are Calmeg. Andrographis paniculata, belongs to Acanthaceae family. Andrographolide, calmegin, used as hepatoprotective. Turmeric, tree turmeric, Cocinium fenestratum, belongs to Minispermaceae family. Active component is berberin, used as bitter tonic. Ephedra gerardiana, belongs to Ephedraceae family. Ephedrine is mainly obtained from the stem part of the ephedra, increases the heart rate. Drugs obtained from animal sources. The drugs that are procured from the animal sources are mentioned in the below table. Insulin is extracted from the pancreas of human. Scientific name of human is Homo sapiens. Insulin is used as antidiabetic. Thyroxine, this is extracted from the sheep thyroid. Scientific name for sheep is Ovis aureus, used as antihypertensive. Cod liver oil, obtained from codfish, Godus murra, belongs to Gadidae family. It is a source for vitamin A and vitamin D. Honey, obtained from bees, Apis mellifera and Apis dorsata, belongs to Epidae formidae, used for wound healings and burns. Cochineal, obtained from female insect, Dactylopius coccus, belongs to Dactylopidae family. Cochineal, used as a coloring agent in foods and drugs. Blood, obtained from animal, used for vaccine preparation. Shark liver oil, obtained from shark fish, Rhynchodontyphus family. Rhynchodontiae, used as anti-cancer. Spermaceti, obtained from sperm whale sperm. Physeter macrocephalus family. Physesteridae, used in antiments and cosmetic creams. Drugs obtained from marine sources. As I said earlier, natural products is nothing but products that are obtained from the natural sources, that can be plants, animals, marine sources, or microorganisms. Marine sources examples are fish and preparations from algae. These are also used in medicinal preparation. Examples are Ascidian organism. Main compound present in Ascidian is Alipidin flucoxanthial. It is dipsipeptide and carotenoid nature. Bryozoan compound is bryostatin I. It is a macrolide. Mollusk, Tonicella lineata. cachalide F present in that mollusk, it is depsipeptide. C here active compound is apleironin, it is a macrolide. Yellow sponge, from yellow sponge aptamine agostyrol A are obtained from yellow sponge, it is a alkaloid. Aptamine is an alkaloid, agostyrol is a steroid. Cephalostatin is obtained from the tube worm, it is a steroid. So FDA approved drugs from marine sources, these are examples. Cytarabine, arabine C. It is obtained from carabine sponge. It is a synthetic pyrimidine nucleoside. It is used for the treatment of leukemia. Vidarabine, RIA, it is obtained from carabine sponge. It is synthetic purine. Cytarabine is a pyrimidine. Vidarabine is a purine nucleoside used as antiviral. Trabectedin, obtained from tunicate species. It is an alkaloid. It is used for the treatment of soft tissue sarcoma and platinum sensitive ovarian cancer. Ginkonotide, it is obtained from the venom of marine snail. It is a peptide. It is used as an analgesic. Plant tissue culture. It is an in vitro cultivation of plant cell, tissues, organs in liquid or semi-solid nutrient media under aseptic controlled environment. In this method, primary and secondary plant metabolites are regenerates. The basic criteria for plant tissue culture are totipotency, plasticity. Totipotency is defined as regeneration capacity of the selected plant parts, whereas plasticity is the withstand capacity of plants in any stressful condition. Plant tissue culture. It is an in vitro cultivation of plant cells or tissues or organs. It is an in vitro cultivation, not in vivo. In vivo means within the human body. In vitro means outside the human body. Generally, it does in test tube. So, we have to take one nutrient media, that may be a liquid or semi-solid nutrient media. Into that, we take whether plant cell or tissue or organ, and we have to cultivate in aseptic condition. So main purpose of the plant tissue culture is to maintain or to produce the totipotency and plasticity. Totipotency is nothing but increase the capacity of plant cell or tissue or organs from that plant cell, increase the capacity to produce the entire plant. Here we can take plant cell or tissue or organ in a nutrient media which can supply the nutrients to the plant cell. So by this tissue culture we can achieve the totipotency and plasticity. Totipotency is nothing but the capacity of the plant cell to produce the entire plant, and plasticity is nothing but withstand the capacity of plants in any stressful condition. So with this tissue culture we can produce the plants which can withstand capacity to stressful condition को फेस करने का और विस्टैंड करने का इनका कैपेसिटी इंक्रीज हो जाता. And totipotency means increasing the capacity of plant cells to produce the entire plant. Applications. Mass scale production of plants. We can produce more number of plants in bulk number. Conservation of endangered plant species. Some plant species are going to extinct, nothing but going to disappear in near future. So for that type of plants we can conserve that type of plant species with the help of plant culture, tissue culture method. And cultivation of disease resistant plants. We can cultivate plants which are having disease resistant character. Production of micropropagated plants. We can produce the micropropagated plants. Advantages. Some plants which do not multiply by seeds can be propagated through plant tissue culture. more amount of secondary metabolites are produced. Large number of plants can be produced in a short time. Chemicals which are used in the tissue culture increase the capacity of produced plant to resist with biocidal chemicals, environmental stress, and competitive to survive over weed. Isolation of constant from plant is easy. Mass propagation of plants is easy. So, what are the advantages of the tissue culture technique? So, by using with this tissue culture method, we can produce more number of plants and we can produce more amounts of secondary metabolites. And some plants which do not multiply by seeds can be propagated through plant tissue culture method. And as said earlier, with tissue culture method we can maintain the totipotency and plasticity properties of plant. Plasticity is nothing but increase the withstand capacity of plants towards stress conditions, and we can isolate constituents from plants more easily, and mass propagation of plants is easy. So what is this tissue culture method? In tissue culture method, it is an in vitro outside of the body. We can take some glass test tube, into that nutrient media was ordered, whether it may be liquid or semi solid. Into that we can take plant cell or tissue or organ. From that we can produce the entire plant. What is the main purpose of this main tissue culture method? To achieve the totipotency and plasticity. Totipotency is nothing but increasing the capacity of plant cell which are we used for the plant tissue culture method to produce the entire plant. Plasticity is nothing but to increase the withstand capacity of plant towards the stress conditions. By using the tissue culture method, we can produce more number of plants and we can produce more amounts of secondary metabolites, nothing but active constituents like glycosides, alkaloids, terpenoids, etc. And we can conserve the endangered plant species which are going to be extinct. They may disappear in the world in near future. So we can conserve that type of plant species. And some plants which do not multiply by seeds can be propagated through this method. And we can isolate the constituent from plants here easy. Organized drugs and unorganized drugs. All crude drugs are mainly two types based on their sources. If the drugs are procured from cellular parts of plants in raw form, is known as organized crude drugs, whereas the drugs that are procured from non-cellular parts of plants are known as unorganized crude drugs. So, all crude drug means whenever you put the plant part for the extraction process. Extraction will be done on column chromatography. Chromatography method by using different solvents. We can collect the some liquid. After extraction of the plant part with different solvents, we can collect the some extract liquid. When we dry this liquid, we can get some extract. That extract is called as crude drug. So these crude drugs are mainly two types based on their sources. That is one organized drug, unorganized drug. Organized drug is nothing but the drug which are obtained from the direct part of the plant, that is leaf, bark, flower, fruit, which has cellular structure. Unorganized drug is nothing but it is obtained from the plant only, but it is not direct part of the plant. It do not contain any cellular structure. Example, resin, gum, that etc. So organized drug is nothing but the direct part of the plant. The drugs which are obtained from the direct part of the plant like leaf, stem, flower, fruit. It has one cellular structure. Unorganized drugs are drugs which are obtained from the plant only but not the direct part of the plant. It do not contain any cellular structure. Difference between organized and Unorganized crude drugs. They are the sources from plants and animals. They are the sources of plants, animals, and minerals. They procure directly from the above sources. They are products of plants and animals and obtained by extraction, distillation, incision methods. So, organized drugs are directly procured from the plant, direct plant parts. So, these are also produced from the plants only, but not direct part of the plant. They require some process like extraction, distillation, incision. They have proper cellular structure like leaves, flowers, fruits, bark, roots, woods, etc. They do not have well defined cellular structure like gum, mucilage, resin. So, organized drugs have proper cellular structure. So, shape, it will have some shape like leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. It do not contain any cellular structure like gum, mucilage, resin. They are identified by morphological character. Morphological means physical character, shape, texture, color. They are identified by organoleptic properties. Organoleptic means smell, taste, the type of properties. They are in solid nature. They are in solid, semi-solid, liquid in nature. To study their characters, transfer section is used for drugs under microscope. To study their characters, physical parameters like density, optical rotation, viscosity, refractive index, chemical tests are important. So, organized drugs are obtained from direct part of the plant. These are not direct part of the plant. So, they have cellular structure. They don't contain any cellular structure. They can obtain directly from the plant. They are obtained from the plant by using some processes like extraction, distillation, installation method. They are in solid nature. They can be semi-solid, solid, or liquid in nature. By transfer section, we can study their characters for organized drugs. To study characters for unorganized drugs, we need chemical parameters like density, optical rotation, viscosity, refractive index, and chemical tests. Example for organized drugs are quassia, sandalwood. Example for organized which are obtained from leaves are digitalis, eucalyptus, mint, senna. Example for unorganized drugs obtained from dried latex are opium, pepin. Obtained from dried juice are aloe, kino. So, example for barks are cascara, cassia, cinchona, wild cherry. Example from drugs obtained from flowering plants are clove, pyrethrum, saffron, chamomile. Example for fruits are anise fruit, capsicum fruit, caraway fruit, cardamom matlab ilachi, that is also fruit, colocynth, coriander, dhania fruit, cumin, zira fruit, dill, fennel. Fennel means somp, that is also from fruits. Seeds, bitter almond, almond seed, black mustard seeds, colchicum, linseed seed, naxibamica seed. Examples of roots and rhizomes are aconite, colchicum, garlic, ginger, ginseng, glycyrrhiza, podophyllum, rauwolfia, rhubarb, turmeric, turmeric rhizome, ginger rhizome, rauwolfia root. You have to remember here is what are the parts used in, you can what are the parts used for ginger, used in ginger cultivation, that is rhizome. For rauwolfia is root, turmeric rhizome. Examples for plants and herbs are ergot, ephedra, yeast, vinca, datura. So pura herb can be used in ergot and vinca also. Hair and fibers, cotton, hemp, jute, silk, flax, these are fibers. Coming to the unorganized drugs, dried extracts, agar, black catechu, pale catechu, pectin. Example for waxes are beeswax, spermaceti, kamaba wax. Example for gums are acacia, gar gum, Indian gum, Example for resins are asafoetida resin, benzoic resin, colophony resin, tolabasum storax. For volatile oil, coriander, peppermint, rosemary. These are essential oils: peppermint oil, rosemary oil, sandalwood oil, cinnamon oil, clove oil, eucalyptus oil. Volatile oils. Volatile means they may be evaporate, and fixed oils means they can't be evaporate, like castor oil, cottonseed oil, linseed oil, olive oil, cod liver oil. Animal products: beeswax, cod liver oil. So these are cod liver is obtained from the cod fish. So these are produced from animal products. Example: beeswax also obtained from bees, gelatin, halibut liver oil, honey, shark liver oil, spermaceti wax, wool fat. Wool fat is from sheep. Fossil organism and minerals. Examples are bentonite, kaolin, kieselguhr, talc. So whenever you get the part of the plant, means leaves, flowers, fruits, barks, roots, rhizomes, plants, helps, these are come under organized drugs. Then if you get waxes, gums, resins, oils, animal products, then these are come under unorganized drugs. You can differentiate by these. Thank you.